So I think you're seeing a shift. Smart money is now going into metals. Retail's maybe still chasing the Dow or whatever, but they're going to come into metals. It's not if, it's when. We're in a cyclical.
Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here for the StockPulse Network. We are back at the New Orleans Investment Conference and joined again by David Wolfin of Gold. And perhaps you could give us a quick update on how some of the projects are going. Before we started, you were sharing some interesting things about what the company's been up to, and
Sure.
perhaps share more about it.
Well, Coral's been around for almost 30 years. We had the Robertson property, and we drilled up 3 million ounces of gold. It's located in north central Nevada on the Cortez Battle Mountain Trend, and it's surrounded by Barrick. And so last year we sold the asset to Barrick for a sliding scale royalty. So we are now a royalty company, and we have a tier 1 royalty. So how it works is at $1,200 gold, we get 1%. And every $200 gold goes up, we get another quarter point until gold hits 2,000. We get to 2.25%. And so this is a world-class mine next door, produces 1 million ounces of gold annually, and is the lowest cost mine in Barrick's portfolio at $600 an ounce.
Right. And certainly for the gold bugs like myself who are expecting higher gold prices at some point, it's nice to hear when the business is structured so that you can take advantage of that as opposed to if something is completely hedged. So perhaps if you could comment a little more
Sure.
about how you factor that in.
Well, having a sliding scale royalty, and they're in permitting phase and pre-feasibility. Right now, Coral's trading at cash. There's about 15 million in cash and no debt, and our share structure is shrinking. So we've got a normal course issuer bid happening out there, and so we're lowering the shares outstanding. We're now around 49 million shares and dropping. Next year is going to be a breakout year for the company when the world knows what that royalty is worth.
Right. And it seems like with investment conferences like here, there is some growing interest. We've seen mainstream fund managers like Ray Dalio, Jeffrey Gundlach. Have you noticed or felt that the interest in gold is starting to turn the sentiment a little bit, or what's your impression been?
You see, there are times when the Dow's dropped a little more than normal in the last few months, and gold pops. I think that's the beginning. I think you're seeing signs, cracks in the armor of the Dow. I think it's not making new highs. So I think you're seeing a shift. Smart money is now going into metals. Retail's maybe still chasing the Dow or whatever, but they're going to come into metals. It's not if, it's when. We're in a cyclical business.
Yeah, especially with interest rates rising, we're starting to see some of the Facebooks and Amazons. People are questioning these valuations, which has left me wondering, with anytime people are selling, that means capital is being freed up, and certainly I think going into the precious metals is a good reallocation.
Well, when they sell and they go to dollars, it props up the dollar. That's what you're seeing right now. But once that wears off, then people are going to go, what do I want to invest in? So the most tangible thing, the most valuable thing on our planet is gold. It's indestructible. Every ounce that's ever been produced is still around.
And certainly a bit of an undersubscribed market at this point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. What about the Chinese if they just start converting all their US dollars to gold?
Yeah. Which it seems, based on, again, how much gold China really owns, I tend to think their publicly stated figures are a bit on the low side.
They want to be the reserve currency of the world, so they've been gobbling it up. They don't even let exports. They've been trying to acquire because they know gold is what dictates who's king of the mountain.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Again, sentiment maybe in the U.S. retail level for gold is a little bit lower, yet at the same time we see central banks repatriating their gold. So really some of the biggest customers, and again, anytime central banks are involved, the same guys that can write policy, it's to me worth noting what they're doing, and certainly investing or mining gold can be one way of capturing and going along on the same side of that trade.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
And perhaps lastly, if you could comment on I know we've talked with a lot of folks the last week or so, especially here, but really a big part of the whole industry is the management and the different team and partners. I know you've mentioned doing things with Sprott Global, and just how does it feel all the different people are coming together? And I think that would give you guys a big advantage that you do have those relationships in place, which, whether it's a matter of raising financing or having access to clients or people who might be interested in what you're doing. It seems like you've done a great job of putting that together.
Well, we attend these shows. The letter writers, follow the developments of the companies that attend these shows. So you've got to be out here pounding the pavement. We're here when the market conditions improve for metal prices. Our stock will be rewarded immediately. We won't be then out trying to get people's interest. They'll already know who we are. So all these newsletter writers attending this show know who we are, and we encourage people to ask them when they run into them, what do you think of this company?
Yeah, and similarly, I appreciate you doing the interview because I think there's a lot to be said, especially in today's Wall Street environment where CEOs are kind of ghost-like figures, but to actually hear from the people who are running the business is something certainly that I appreciate. And perhaps in closing, you can just let folks know where they can find more information and get in touch if they'd like to know more.
Yeah, it's www.coralgold.com. We trade on the US OTC QX under the symbol, I think, CLHRF, and then in Canada on the Venture Exchange under the symbol CLH.
David Wolfin of Coral Gold, thank you so much for joining us. It's exciting hearing about what you're doing, and we'll follow your success going forward.
Thank you very much.